CoastLife fans, we are back and we are going to be talking to the Amish Tradesmen. We've got Carter and Robert Harmon in here, and you guys have built pole barns. It's one of the things you guys do. What is that for the people at home that might not know?
So a pole building is ultimately, it's just a building, because once it's up, you can convert it into really whatever you want it to be. But it's gone a really long way from the real old school farmers' buildings. Granted, they can still be used as a farmer's building, but we've had people turn them into man caves and she sheds and pavilions and carports, and really there's a ton of stuff that you can do with it at the end of the day.
So really versatile. And this time of year, what are you guys seeing a lot? What do you in terms of when people come to you, what are they hoping to get out of it right now?
Lately, what we've had a lot of people doing is we have a lot of people coming in, and as it's getting warmer, it's turning into pool season, so we get lots of pole houses and people pulling out the boats, and then they realize, wow, I've got a lot of junk lying around and I don't have anywhere to put all my stuff. Maybe I'll build a building or something like that.
And are these, relatively easy to put onto a property? Is this something that is, what sort of timeline would you be looking at to put one of these together?
Timeline, and we're blessed because we have Amish builders, so they don't mess around, and they're used to building this particular type of structure over and over again. So it's a post and frame construction, so we come out and kind of level it, make a pad site out of a space where the people want this to be, and we get it within setbacks, and then they prepare the site with some fill so that the building stays high and dry. And then when our Amish guys came out, they dig holes for these posts about every 8 feet apart, and the posts go up and it gets framed on top of that, and the whole thing is covered with metal in just a few days.
What kind of advantage is it? You said you guys have sort of this workforce of people that have done this over and over again. To have somebody that has that skill or trade, what sort of advantage is that as a company?
Oh, yeah, it's everything.
It means a lot. So it's one of the main benefits, I guess, is that because the Amish guys have been doing it literally their entire life, and it's lots of generational knowledge going through, is the quality of work that they do is impeccable, but also the speed at which they work is incredible. I mean, they can build 1,000 square feet a day. I mean, you can get a 2-car garage built in a single day. So it's being able to take that and then scale it, because it's not just everyone can get away with just a little 2-car garage. Some people have lots of stuff. We've done lots of commercial building stuff exceeding 8,000 square feet, where you can all have just one big clear span. You don't need to worry about load-bearing walls. You don't need to dig foundations, anything like that. Everything goes through really quickly, which means that the building gets sealed up really quickly. So you're able to close the building in and then start working on the interior a lot faster.
So how did the company become your company? How did this happen?
Well, I guess that falls onto me, because
yes.
I was a commercial real estate broker, and one of my friends called me one time, and she had she was a bookkeeper for a lady who had this little pole building company, and she wanted to sell it and wanted to know if I could help her sell it. So I met with her, and we talked about what it would take to sell the company. After a couple of weeks, she called me and she said, "I need to be honest with you. I have stage 4 brain cancer. I'm raising a special needs kid by myself. And I think God sent you here to buy this business." So, which came as a shock to me, because I'm not that young anymore, and I wasn't really buying big things anymore. But I prayed on it and talked it over with my wife, and we decided, maybe we should see what happens here. It would be a nice little part-time business to add on to my commercial real estate company. As it turned out, we bought it. I wrote her a nice check. She has since passed away a long time ago. And the business took off. It expanded to the point where I knew I couldn't handle it anymore. So I brought my wife in, and she's been a great asset at keeping the things organized and keeping everything going. And then my son, who is trained to be a chef, decided maybe he didn't want to work in kitchens the rest of his life, and we've convinced him to come on board, and that was a great asset, because now I've hired on my retirement here, so it's working out very well.
So a real family affair, this entire thing.
It is.
So if somebody wants to come to you guys, they're looking for this, what's sort of the first step in that process? How do they reach out?
Well, there's plenty of ways you can reach out. We've got our website where we've got lots of little pictures and stuff. So for people just getting started, is you can find lots of stuff online and just look around, because pole buildings have been getting really popular recently, so there's all kinds of little pictures on Pinterest and Facebook and stuff like that where you can just get something in your head of what you like. But even if you're just getting started, at the end of the day, we can just talk to you, because ever since COVID, I personally have been getting really good at just doing it over the phone. So even just for people who are busy and they can't necessarily come in and take time out of their day to come and meet at our office or something, then I can just talk you through everything over the phone and get everything sorted that way too.
Sort of get an idea of what they're looking for, what that would run-ish, depending on what they're dealing with.
Yeah, and I can, I'm able to draft everything up, whether it's in person or over the phone, and then typically within a day or two I can just send them a quote for, exactly what the price would be, and, like a fancy set of prints so you can see kind of what the building would look like and say, yes, that's exactly what I had in mind, or no, that's too ugly. And we can still work on it from there.
Yeah, so just kind of refine down the search,
Exactly.
figure out what everybody wants.
No.
Is there anything else that you guys want our viewers to know before we get out of here, just about the company in general, and even about the different ways that these buildings can be useful?
Well, they can be useful. I mean, the people usually come to us from, like he says, Pinterest, and they get these ideas. It's amazing how many people buy boats and campers and things and don't think about shelter over them until they purchase them, and then they realize, this is a pretty valuable asset. So, I mean, we've built airplane hangars, and we've built a building for ourselves. I got my motor coach that I pull into a building, which we squeeze in there, and so it's really, tell us what you're going to put in it would start. Are you going to use this? Are you going to change this to an office for your business? Is there going to be a part of an office in here? Are you going to be just parking the boat in here? Does it need to be conditioned space? Does it need to be insulated? So we basically, once they give us the dream, we just start asking the questions. Do you want this? Do you want that? And then we put it all together, and they get a price back very quickly, usually within a day or so. They have a price back of exactly what it's going to cost them to build the building. So we offer some services that typical construction probably can't, just because of the efficiency we have in doing it.
Well, I like what you said there. We're going to get out on that. You give them the dream. They're going to give you the answers. The Amish Tradesmen, you can find them, online, I'm sure, is one of the easier ways, or by phone. We'll put that information up. Guys, thank you for coming in. We really appreciate it. And, if you're looking for something to protect those goodies that you buy, those toys, those things in the backyard, they might be the best place to go.